Good afternoon. Well, 11 years ago today, uh, about 5, 6 hours ago, I robbed a pharmacy to feed my painkiller addiction. I got myself mixed up in pain management back in like 2007 or 8, and I had gotten hooked on those pills really bad. The roxycodones. For those who don't know, street name blues. All right, you gotta go. And I was getting as many of them as I could get my hands on, but it still wasn't enough. I was still buying them from drug dealers on the street as well. And there was a situation on August 21st, 2010, where I had been dope sick for the better part of 2 weeks, on and off, getting a little scrap of a pill here and there. And I snapped, and I robbed the pharmacy. I stuck a gun in somebody's face and demanded pills. And, this was a pharmacy I'd gone to since I was a child. My mom had been going to since I was born, pretty much. And, they were filling my painkiller scripts. They knew what was going on. They're not dumb. They deal with these drugs all day long. They know what they are, and they know what they do to people. But, painkillers are something you don't want to play with, Sometimes they're a necessary means to get by for some people, and in the short term, that's fine. But as a long-term solution, they suck. Because I can tell you, once you're hooked, it's a mind screw. The physical end of it, the physical end of the addiction is one thing, but the mental part of it is a whole nother ball game. You're always chasing that first high. Back when the pain pill mill thing went downhill after the DEA stepped in while I was locked up, a lot of people switched to heroin. Well, to strengthen the heroin supply, the dealers started putting fentanyl in it, and that was killing more people who were already used to just pills, the same dose every time, not, hey, it's kick-ass this time, and this time it's watered down. Next time it's watered down, So that's one of the reasons the opioid epidemic is so bad, is people's habits go beyond the pills eventually. Especially if they suddenly lose access to the pills, like to lose their doctor or their insurance. But, here I am, raised a Catholic, went to Bethel Lutheran preschool, Catholic school, church. Most of my life never did a darn thing wrong unless it's something my friends helped me get into. And I end up with what turns out to be a stolen gun, which is also odd, that set of circumstance. And no ammunition, by the way. That's another weird thing about this whole deal. Never bought any bullets. And then I do something as out of character as to put a gun in somebody's face and demand drugs. It's that's big. Yeah, the whole thing with the no bullets, that aligned with the date of this happening, kind of, play with my schizophrenic tendencies, and said maybe Dad made a deal with God and get me off this stuff. He always wanted me to stay away from that kind of crap. Had I known what it was, I never would have taken that little blue pill. Honestly, seriously, I've always been against hard drugs. I understand there are certain circumstances where there are needs for such painkillers. As a painkiller, yes, they're great. They do their job. They're wonderful. But I know from my own experience you feel so much better that you end up hurting yourself worse in the long run because you overextend yourself past the point of pain because the pain is being numbed, or however you want to put it. But you end up hurt worse. And then if you've got any kind of addictive personality, you've also got the monkey on your back of now having an opioid addiction. And I can tell you firsthand, it's no joke. But I've quit a lot of things. I can honestly tell you the hardest thing I've ever had to quit is cigarettes. That's why I'm still smoking them. Pot came in second place. That was I used to smoke just like a demon, and I just stopped cold turkey one day. And for the 2 weeks, no lie, 2 weeks, I could barely sleep, couldn't hardly eat. I was a mess. I mean, I was worse off than being dope sick coming down off of those pills. Because coming off those pills, yeah, you're sick. And you're definitely not eating anything. And there's all kind of stuff going on with your bowels. But I don't know, man. There's just something about coming off of a hardcore pot habit that is really hard. Hard on the mind, hard on the body. But this opiate thing, if you know people in your family who have perhaps an addiction to their opiates beyond medication, keep an eye on it. These things escalate very easily. All it takes is just wanting to self-medicate, and who doesn't want to feel better? I mean, honestly, if your life is pain, chances are there's a lot of misery living up there in your head somewhere too. Those two meet up, it's a recipe for disaster, and those painkillers kind of help that happen sometimes. They turn a nice normal person into an armed robber. And that's no joke. Guns are no laughing matter. I've always had a very healthy respect for guns. I'm not a hunter or anything like that. I doubt I could kill and eat an animal if I had to, but I mean, I could shoot it. Don't get me wrong. I just prepackaged meat, good to go. Throw it on the grill. I'm all right there. But if you know anybody who's got these painkillers in their lives or is going to possibly have them in their lives, have a talk with them. It's seriously no joke. They can change everything about you. When you're dealing with things like this, it weighs on the soul of a lot of people. I don't know how to explain it other than to say that it changed me getting involved with those pills. Getting involved with anything changes us just by that mere involvement. But those things, they make you forget. They make you angry, like really angry when you don't have them. Make you really sick. Make you feel like your stomach's twisting inside out. Like bugs crawling under your skin. It's not good. But I can tell you, I am very blessed for the way everything went down. The fact that I didn't buy any bullets for the gun ever was a miracle. The fact that no one pulled a gun of their own when I did it, another miracle. The fact that literally nobody got hurt at all, a big miracle. And the fact that I got clean off of those pills, even though it cost me 5 years of my life, the biggest miracle, because I was happy to sign a guilty plea. Yeah, you're more than welcome to check with the state attorney's office and look at the particulars. But I was given a free pass. I was off my psych meds that 2 weeks I was dope sick before I robbed the pharmacy. They declared that I was in psychotic episode when that happened. And that explains why there were so many unexplainable circumstances. Now, that's fine. I can understand that, and I pretty much agree with it, because there are some things that are foggy. But I still did it, and I felt responsible for that, and I had to pay for that. I was given the option, because it was proven I was in an episode, to get out of it. Spend a year in a state hospital, readjusting to life, and the charge disappears, the arrest disappears, it never happened. But here's the thing. Those pills were my master. They were my everything. If I'd have got out in a year, I can promise you I'd been back on them. And I knew it. It was just too soon. And the Catholic in me really didn't want to be punished. I screwed up. I wronged society big time. Yeah, sure, I was somewhat helpless at the time I did it, but it doesn't make it any less of a crime. It just makes it a little more explainable. So, when I got back from the state hospital, I got sent there when they found out I was literally cuckoo. They weren't giving me any meds when I got to jail, so the psychotic episode went on for 14 months unchecked. And finally, at the state hospital, after 4 months of being there, they gave me risperidone back. No, so that's not a godsend, I'll tell you what. It doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. And, the voices went away, and the hallucinations went away, and I started to get me back. But, I could have spent just a year readjusting to society, proving that I was safe for society, and that would have all gone away. Instead, I chose to shoot an offer back and forth with the state attorney to see if I could get some time, but not like the ton of time they were trying to hit me with. At the time, the law was 10-20 life. If you use a gun to commit a crime, and the commission of a crime, it's 10 years. If you fire the gun, it's 20 years. If the bullet injures somebody, it's life. I think that's the way it was written. But anyway, because of it being my first offense, and because it was proven by a team of 20 doctors, not just one doctor, but a whole team, under 6 months observation, it was proven I was in a psychotic episode, I was able to wheel and deal. State attorneys, they put a new state attorney on the case while I was at the state hospital, and they're like, when I started asking about offers for a guilty plea, they're like, well, what do you think you deserve? Well, I looked at the paperwork, and my crime scored out to 48 months, being the minimum sentence. I think minimum, maximum, something like that. And so I said, okay, 2 years in, 2 years on paper. They shot that down overnight. I looked at it again. I shot back 48 months straight time. No paper afterwards. It means paper probation. You don't want that. It's a trap disaster. Anyway. And they came back at me with 60 months. Well, it's 5 years. That's half of the 10 years I would have gotten. I was very happy with that. I said, where do I sign? And the rest was history. Less than 15 days later, I was in the prison system. But I often wonder if, that pharmacist who did know me, for that moment or two I had a gun in his face. I didn't keep it there the whole time, but I gotta wonder, and I always will, I'm sure, how much that affected him or anyone else who may have witnessed anything. Although I was very discreet in my insanity, as I recall, it was kind of secret agent man types discreetness. I know the video doesn't show much, so it must have been. You know, the lasting effect on me of all that, stay the hell away from painkillers. Um, you know, I've got friends with stories that would chill you. Got a friend who had massive facial surgery, and I mean massive facial surgery, without a single painkiller, not one. Okay, that's dedication right there. I don't think I can do that, but it's inspirational because I can tell you how hopeless and helpless I felt. I would do anything. I would have done anything to make that sickness stop, and I did. I stuck a gun in a pharmacist's face and stole a crap ton of pills. I mean, it's serious, man. So you know anybody that's getting into pain management or considering it or anything like that, show them this video, please. It's really important because I had to give up 5 years of my life in order to get my life back. Now, it'll never be back on a track where it was before all this, but I'm alive. I've got friends, good friends, one that actually helped and developed that addiction by accident, who's he's not with us anymore. His opioid addiction killed him. You know, I've got a niece that in the prime of her youth was taken down by pain management meds. Died. You know, I could tell you firsthand, these pills are no joke. Opiates are no joke. It's hopeless. It's helpless. It makes you feel like you have no power whatsoever. But if you can come out on top of it, you'll feel like the most powerful person in the world, I promise you. Love you. Peace.